Welcome, ladies, to Cocktails and Conversation, Mother's Day edition. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Wonderful.
Doing good.
Wonderful.
Doing good.
Awesome,
Bless.
awesome. Well, I also, like I said before, I wanted to make this a special occasion, not because it's just Mother's Day, because to be honest with you, Mother's Day is every day. So I want others to know how it feels to be loved, not on just every day, but also on this particular day. Can you guys hear this music right here in the background?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You guys know who that is? But don't answer the question, Deanne. But do y'all know what the song is?
Boys to Men, Mama.
Exactly.
Such a tearjerker.
Yeah, she suggested I should play this in the background first. So I wanted to give this anthem
Very
to you
nice.
ladies. All right.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay. All right. So what we want to do, we want to jump right into it. Let me see if I can get my comments in here as well. Okay. Um, some of the questions that I would like to ask you, lady, and we're going to kind of like do it like a round table. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One of the first questions that I would like to ask, and I'm gonna because I have it in this order, I'm gonna go with Deanne, Tahishia, Sunshine, and Terry. Okay, so you
Mm-hmm.
bear with me. And
Okay.
also I have my cocktail, so bear with me.
Cheers
Um,
to.
First, Deanne, and I'm sure it's been many, but which Mother's Day family gathering stood out just a little bit more than the others so far?
Mm. Honestly, in our household, we celebrated, but we didn't put a lot of effort into really many holidays. So Mother's Day, so I don't know if there's one in particular I can say that stood out the most. I mean, we would go over to my mom's and we would have dinner with her, but I don't have one in particular that would just stand out the most. I think all of them meant something in some type of way or another. So,
Okay.
mhm.
All right. Same question.
For me, I would
Yes.
have to say Mother's Day can be kind of touchy for me because I lost my mom at 21.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry.
so I would say my for me it would be spending it with all of my children and grandchildren. And I don't get that every Mother's Day. So I won't get to see everybody tomorrow. But I
Okay.
have had a year or two where all of my kids were down together. And I think that's like the most memorable Mother's Day for me.
Well,
Okay.
And my condolences to
yeah,
you.
that's mine as well.
Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
And Miss Sunshine.
A memorable Mother's Day for me. Well, we used to always go to Texarkana. That's where my mother is from.
Okay.
And it was my grandmother, my mother, myself, and my oldest daughter. So it
Okay.
was four generations,
Oh,
and we all had pink and green flowers on, and just was held up in the old Southern hard seated church pews,
Yes.
and we were just it was just love all around. So that's one of my most memorable. She's
that's
passed on now, so we don't do that
awesome.
anymore. But
Okay.
that's one of the ones I remember.
Okay.
Oh, my
And
condolences.
Miss
Yeah.
Terry.
Mine, I know I have some adorable ones from when they were little and they would make different crafts in school and bring them home. But I can say, over the last, I want to say 5 years or so, or 10 years, there was one where my cousin, he had someone come to the house, and the house was just, the family house was completely decorated.
Okay.
Very blessed to have my grandmother, who just turned 97 April 5th.
Oh
So
wow.
her, my mother, myself, of course, everybody, all the family members, but the five generations of us,
Yes.
that we were all there. And he just had a lovely lunch all planned for us. There was piano played and, music. We were serenaded. Just a really lovely, lovely day. And my mother's sister had gone home to be with the Lord, but we all took a picture on the porch. And the beautiful thing was there was a sun ray, like a burst of sun through it. And I know it was her. I just know it.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
that's sweet.
Oh, wow.
I'll
Awesome.
remember that forever.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, the next question I have is, what advice did your mom give you as a child growing up that you instilled in your kids today? Deanne, starting off with you.
Okay, well, there's two that really stick with me and that I told my kids now, whether they live by them, I hope so. But one is treat others like you want to be treated. I always to this day, I tell them that and I stick to it and I believe it and I practice it. The other one is don't let your troubles, don't let your trials make you bitter. Let them make you better. And that's actually also a book that my mom wrote, and that's the title of it. And that is actually something that she instilled in us as well. And I tried to instill that into my boys as well.
Okay, next.
One of the things for me would be my mother used to always tell me, be a leader and not a follower. So that's one of the things that I've always tried to instill in my children. Not to be a follower in the crowd. Don't give in to peer pressure. To be a leader. Make people want to follow after you and do what you're doing to make them better. And another one, this may be kind of funny to some, but she used to always tell me, don't do evil for evil.
Yeah.
And that got me beat up one time.
It's so funny. I said that today. You're right. You are on it.
Okay.
That's right.
Miss Sunshine.
Well, my mother, she used to say, don't let anybody fool you.
Okay.
Just don't let anybody fool. Don't take any wooden nickels or, just don't let anybody fool you.
Okay.
And she also said, don't ever think that someone's judgment is the judgment you should accept, because nobody can judge you. So I tell that to my kids all the time.
Okay.
I'm not one to judge. You can't judge anybody.
Uh-huh.
Let it be so.
Okay. And Miss Terry.
Keep God first. Keep God first. And I also got the don't be a leader, don't be a follower. And one of the main things was you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
You can do anything that you put your mind to, and that it doesn't cost anything to be kind.
Yes.
Yep, that's true.
Always be kind.
Awesome. Well, thank you for those responses, ladies. Okay, my third question. Deanne, when you found out first, or should I say, when you first found out that you were going to be a mom, were you scared, excited, or lost?
Ooh, let's go with scared and excited. I was scared because it was my senior year in high school, first love. And if I could have went the whole pregnancy and had the child before I told them, I would have. That's how scared I was. Excited because it's I think being a mother is an exciting thing anyway. But at that age, you don't know what to expect, so you're excited because you have a little one coming, but you don't know what to expect, and you don't know what you're gonna go through. It's just a trial. It's a how do I say? What do they say? We don't come with instructions. They're not born with instructions. So I think it's always that excitement about what will you do, what kind of mother will you be, all those kind of things.
Okay.
Next
question. Same question.
Okay, and to follow that up, I was a teenage parent, so my mom and I actually found out together.
Oh, wow.
That I was pregnant. So I would say the same, I was happy and a little scared at the same time. So
okay.
Well, I can say I was shocked and I have to say mad. Because I found out, hear me out, I was going to be a U.S. Marshal and I was already in Atlanta and Glencoe. And after my physical and everything, they were like, you can't do boot camp or you can't do the and I was like, why? That's everything, and they were like, well, because you're pregnant. And I was like, I thought I was being punked. So, but after the initial and everything, after I got, from being upset, because thinking my whole life is right off track, I just embraced it, and she's one of my very best friends. She's about to have my grandbaby, and
congratulations again.
Okay. And Miss Terry.
She was planned. I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know what to expect. It wasn't until my body started changing, like, oh my God, this is really real, And the whole time I just knew she was a boy. So I had this boy name for her that I would talk to her and call her the whole time. And when she arrived, she was 9'5", y'all.
Wow.
For a minute.
That's so hard.
And she was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And I remember them, I had her at 10:54 at night. And I remember them bringing her to me around 2 a.m. And it's like, here, you see, this is your baby. It's time to feed her. And she was all cleaned up, and she was the most beautiful thing I ever seen. But the mind-blowing thing was when I got up the next day to brush my teeth, when I looked in the mirror, I saw her face on top of mine, which was just...
Wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Just an awesome moment. Just an awesome moment.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Fourth question. This is like a domino effect. Which similarities that you think you have that you got from your mom that one of your kids have now?
Oh, boy.
Oh, I got that one. For me, we laugh all the time. We smile and we laugh all the time. My mom, my oldest son, we never meet a stranger. That is like across the board. That's us. That's even my grandmother, mind you. So yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Well, my grandmother and my mom used to stand back on their legs a certain way. I do that. And one of my sons, he does that as well.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I find myself sounding and doing exactly like my mother, telling anybody who I'm not going back and forth with you. And that's my mom. She see what I'm not gonna do is go back and forth with you.
So she was the original one that said that, right?
What I'm not gonna do. And who I'm not is your friend. So I find myself doing that a lot, and my kids do it as well at young ages. What I'm not gonna do is go back and forth.
Okay. All right, Miss Terry.
Interesting enough, my mother was an educator, and she was a principal. And I also went into education. And so I'm her. At this point in time in my life, my tone, when I am serious and I have something to say, I am methodical about what it is that I need to get my point across and what I want to convey. I am her. My sister has even been like, oh, here she comes. Here she comes. It's coming. Look at her. But I can say that one of the things that has been down the line of us as mothers, as far as my daughter's just saying, the way we love on our children. I was an only child, and so we love our children as if they're only children. They really are loved individually for who they are and their differences, from the next.
Awesome. Okay, ladies, what I would like to do is take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to be able to take a look at the photos of your family. Okay, so give me one moment. We got to pay some bills, so we'll be right back.
My cocktail left me down.
I'm getting mine down here. I love it.
Oh, that's cute.
Thank you.
Yes.
Fresh and frenzy. I like that. That's cute.
Thank you.
Girl, you got me sounding like a whole backwoods person saying fresh and frenzy. I think that is so cute. Look at
Thank
the pony in the
you.
bang. You got a pony in the bang.
Houston, Texas, are you ready? Backed by popular demand, it's the Sam Mack Entertainment's 21st All-White Affair. Saturday, July 17th, party time, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Starring national recording artist Tony Terry, performing all of his greatest hits.
That is my song right there.
I know.
It's all going down at the Hilton Americas, downtown Houston. Musical hits will be all over the building.
Oh.
Also performing national recording artist Rough Ends.
I still listen to that one. Both of them.
Keeping the party in the mix, DJ Redeem and Def Jam Blaster. You don't want to miss this show. Tickets are going fast. To purchase your tickets, go to sammackentertainment.com. Help us send more kids to college. Join Sam Mack Entertainment in donating to the Smith Foundation.
Okay, now we're down to the family. You can explain who's in this
Yeah,
picture and
don't
who's the
take
family.
pictures.
And let me ask you, I know I'm playing the music in the background by Boys the Men for Mama, but is the song interfering? Is it too loud or is it okay?
I can barely hear
I
it.
can barely hear it.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. So please explain to me who is in this picture.
So the youngest, my youngest is Joshua. That's the one with the jersey with the 25 on it. My
Okay.
oldest is Joseph, and that's the one in the white shirt. Now, my boys don't like taking pictures, so we don't even have any recent pictures of all of us. Like Joey will at least take some. I do have a couple more recent of him, but Josh will not take pictures. He will not. So I just have older pictures of us, you know. He
Okay.
runs from the camera.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for your picture. Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We have up next. Can you explain to us who's in your photo, please?
Okay, this picture, I'm going from left to right, is my second oldest son, Alex. So he's the third oldest.
Okay.
And next to him, we have Armani. She's the
Aw.
fourth oldest and the second oldest girl.
Okay.
Eric is next, and he is my oldest son. Then next to him is the baby girl. So she's the third girl, the
Oh,
fifth
wow.
child.
Oh.
And next to her, we have the baby of the crew. That's Elijah, and he's the youngest boy. And
Aw.
then next to him is his older sister, Saren, and she's
Oh.
the second oldest child, first oldest
Wow.
girl. And
Yeah,
then we have,
beautiful.
thank you, my husband and
Oh,
I,
oh.
and two grandchildren.
This is a
Aw.
beautiful picture.
Beautiful picture. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Oh, I
Awesome.
love
It's
it.
a lot of us.
That's all right. That's the more the merrier.
All right.
Really?
Awesome. And
That's
up
awesome.
next.
Oh.
This the tall one is my baby. That she's the one that stopped me from being a U.S. Marshal. And the baby is my Ike baby. You know, Hurricane Ike, we didn't have electricity for
Oh,
a couple of things we could have done. Play dominoes, spades, and so these are my babies.
Oh, beautiful
Oh.
girls.
Precious.
They are.
And up last.
Oh,
Beautiful,
beautiful, beautiful. Yes.
Big family. Now that's on the end over there. That is Samantha. That is the oldest. That's
Oh,
the one that I was telling you about. And then right behind in the back, that's Sabrina. And then right in the front is Sophia Marie.
oh, beautiful. So beautiful.
Yes, all S's. I like
All
that.
girls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the S
good
girls.
girls.
The S girls, yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. I want to thank you for sharing your photos and also letting us know who your family are. Okay, are you ladies ready for the rest of the questions I have?
Second round, yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
this
Here we
is the second
go.
round. This is the second round. Okay, Deanne, first, did you always expect to have a family growing up? If so, how many kids did you expect it?
I did, well, for sure, I did expect to be married and have a family, which I was married at 18, and
Okay.
had the boys. But actually, two is really what I wanted, but I wanted two twin girls. I wanted twin girls so bad that I would have my mom buy me two of the same dolls so I could have twin girls. So I got them 13 months apart. So
Wow.
I guess that's as close as the Lord felt like I needed. So, and two boys. So.
Okay, okay. Okay, up next.
I think I always dreamed of being married and having two or three children. Didn't matter if they were boys or girls. I was the only child, so ended up with six.
All right, up next, Miss Sunshine.
No, I honestly I thought I was gonna be a U.S. Marshal, then go to CIA, and then Secret Service. I thought I was gonna be, all law enforcement, and then it turned my whole life around when I got pregnant. I became a teacher for 10 years, and then CPS, and I just became all involved with children. So yeah, I didn't expect it. And Reagan was a twin. The baby was a twin, but the other
Oh,
one didn't make it. So
I'm sorry.
uh, God knows what I can handle
Yeah.
because she had a lot of surgeries right after she was born. So
Okay.
so it was just he knew what to do.
Okay.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
And Miss Terry.
I was an only child, so I knew I did not want one, but I didn't have, two would have been cool. I mean, I was good with that. I had no idea that I would end up at the end of the day with six because we're a blended family.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
we got a big family. So I'm grateful because being an only child too, you want that. You don't know what you need until God gives it to you. And it's like,
Amen.
wow.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, one thing I can say is that just listening to you ladies, you wear a lot of hats. You wear a lot of hats. And on a lot of occasions, you guys are playing the male and the female. Just hearing you guys. So again, I want to tilt my hat off to you guys just for that, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
All right. Number 6. Was there any, let me reset that. Was there something you promised yourself once you became a mom?
Was there something I promised myself?
Okay, was there something you promised yourself once you became a mom? Maybe that, well, once I become a mom, I'm never going to do this. What was a promise that you made to yourself just before you became a mom?
Oh, well, I think I've probably a few times have said to myself, once I become a mom, I wasn't gonna like nag my kids, or like my mom stayed on us and constantly about kind of the same thing.
Okay.
And I said I wasn't gonna do that, and I find myself doing that. So when I catch myself, I try and back up because at this point they're grown now,
Okay.
and I've taught them all I could teach them from here. They have to learn life lessons. So that's probably the most something that I told myself I wouldn't do, or I promised myself I wouldn't do, but I did. But
Okay.
Mhm.
And I would say not right when I became a mom because I was again a teenage parent, so it's not a lot that I was thinking at that time.
Okay.
But just going
Mhm.
forward, just promising that I would always listen to my children.
Okay.
And
That's a good
I think that's the biggest thing is just listen to them before getting angry and, hear them out.
one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
Well, what I said was, I again with Tahisha, to listen to them, because it was more like, do you see grown folks talking? Go over there. So growing up, we didn't know what was what, but
You didn't get to voice your opinions very well.
I
Yeah.
don't let kids be in my conversation, but if they have questions later
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like they should know, I will answer. It's not like don't ask me questions, because that's how it was when I was growing up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the
And
end.
Mine was to never judge them and always show that I was trustworthy. I used to tell them, I'm like, I'm mama. You can tell me anything. Mama got you. And if you rob a bank, you tell me first. I wanted to really set that tone that my mama is who I would run to, not run from.
Mhm.
So I always left the lines of communication open, and I respected their opinions. So I never wanted to not respect their opinions, or never be where they were afraid to come to me. I always wanted to make sure that I left that door, that open door policy always, that they were welcome, good, bad, or ugly.
Yes.
Okay.
I like that.
Awesome. Okay.
I did see that was really good.
Number 7. If you could do it all over again, what would you do differently?
Well,
Well,
honestly,
wait.
I
need to
would have been married first and then started a family. I started rather young, so I grew up with my kids, So when you're young like that and you have kids, you don't really have a lot of tools, because you're still learning yourself, you're still learning life. So mine would have been to have been married, had a career, done my own thing, gotten married, and then started a family.
Okay. Thank you for that. And up next?
And I would have to echo what Deanne just said. I didn't have the tools that I needed in a lot of aspects in raising my children. In hindsight, looking back, I realized that would be one of the things that I would change. Not that I wouldn't have had them, but I wish that I was older, married preferably, and just had certain tools and that I needed. And it's never a guarantee that you would have all the right tools being a parent. It's just it's not a cookie cutter type deal being a parent, but yeah, just the tools to be more successful in parenting.
Yes.
Okay, up next.
What I would do different is, well, my first daughter, her father wasn't in her life. I would do that differently. I would choose someone who didn't have all the bells and whistles in front of folks, but then when push come to shove, they ain't have jack. So as far as being a man and stepping up, but that's the only thing I would do different, like a background check or something, because
that's when that Marshall stuff would have came into play, right? U.S. Marshall.
the 2 years that we were together, we were chilling and everything, but as soon as pregnancy came into play, it was like, who are you and what? So I would do that differently. I would have chosen someone who would have been there for her and been in her life. So
more active.
But other than parenting, I'm a great mom.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, and Terry.
If I could do it all again, the part that God has His plan, and I'm grateful that we are a blended family, and that I'm married to my husband. That was His plan. But when it comes to that last one, we divorced after I had her, so she was about 2, and I worked 3 jobs. I was in school because my whole thing was I wanted to keep them accustomed to the life that they had been used to. They had their own room, so we always had a home, and it wasn't their fault that it didn't work out. So I didn't want their lives to really be that rattled from it. And so looking back now, working 3 jobs, going to school, providing, foregoing some of it to just spend more time with that latchkey kid.
Mm.
Have more time with her. She did phenomenal, because her sisters were phenomenal, but that was responsibility on them too, which means my oldest would be mopping at 11 o'clock, go to bed, mama, and I'm like, no, I'm good, you go to bed, but I would like to have had more time with the younger one, because she wasn't fast, but she was grown, because she had older sisters and they always let her in, they never shut her out. So she became a young lady very soon. And you don't want kids to miss childhood. You still want them to ride bikes. And her older sister had, the wagons in the neighborhood and the Barbie Jeeps and stuff. And she didn't get a lot of that because of the distance and the age gap. And, it was almost like she was an only child. So I didn't get that time with her with ballet classes and just, I didn't get a chance to do that, but I'm blessed. She, 3.0 student, so she did her thing. So God bless.
Yeah. Mr. B, still didn't Mr. B. That's
By the
awesome.
grace of
Wow.
God.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I think you guys gonna like this one. What does drinking wine does for you?
I'm sorry.
Nah, for me, it just relaxes me. I'm not a big wine drinker. I have some now because it's cocktails and conversation, and I have been drinking this pretty well, but I think it just helps relax me. Help me rest, when I do, like if I do have something before I go to sleep, I think I sleep better.
Well, I hope someone is not causing you to drink that wine, but that's another story.
Ooh, that's a whole nother cocktails and conversation. I need like 2 more double cups. I need double glass. So.
Really?
I'm just playing. Babe.
Sure. Sure.
I was about to block her screen, but go ahead. All right, next.
It just mellows me, so it's relaxing and calming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Crown drinker. So wine is fish. Wine is fish. So if I need Crown, I will drink Crown, and it's just to round my day off. It's just to let me relax, relate, and release. So that's what it does. Just
let that U.S. Marshal gets her rest, please.
For me, I like Merlot. I like, Syrah. I would really say it gives me a chance to decompress and then just kind of process.
Yes.
It's great. It's a great tool in conversation. And it's a mellow, just like Keisha said, it's a mellow, it's a mellow drink. And it just kind of reflects your end of your day. The kind of finality, like, okay, this is where the relaxation starts. So it just kind of seals it.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, ladies, the last question of tonight. If there is anyone, or let me rephrase that. If there is, oh man, I can't even blame it on alcohol. Okay. Okay, if there's any soon-to-be moms watching this podcast, what type of advice would you like to share based on your own experience?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say first and foremost, pray. Never stop praying. Never stop asking the Lord for guidance. Like I said, raising children, you don't get a handbook with it. So, we do better when we know better. So I would say if you can, you said expecting mothers, but if you can wait, if you can give it time, grow yourself first, learn yourself, learn life lessons, and then start your family, I would, feel like, you would appreciate that later. If it's a young lady that's already pregnant and, it's already to that point, I would just say for sure, in any situation, keep God first, always pray, always ask for guidance, ask the Lord to to help you do your best and to, give your child, the best that you can give. Always, just even read to your baby while you're pregnant, when your baby comes, read the Bible. Like that foundation should be Christ in any situation. But for sure, keep the Lord first, keep Christ first, continue to ask him for guidance in everything you do and everything you do with your children.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
next.
The advice that I would give would be to don't be afraid to ask for help,
Mhm.
especially if it's the first child. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to
Good. Mhm.
let your mom or grandmother, whoever it may be, step in and give you advice that may be needed, because sometimes new mothers, depending on the situation, may be ashamed. If they're not ashamed, may just, they're a new mom. They may think they can do it all themselves. I got this type mentality. But just don't be afraid to reach out, because it can be stressful being a first time mom.
Mhm. Being a second time, a third time, a fourth time.
Right.
All right. Sunshine.
I would say listen to your child. Just listen to them. They may have things to say that you think everything is cool, but just listen to them. Don't just throw it off and throw your experiences in there, because they're experiencing something different.
Yeah.
Listen to your child and take what they have to say serious, because they could be going through something and you don't even know. And if they have the willingness to tell you, listen and take it serious.
Awesome. Thank you. And Miss Terry.
You know, everybody touched on it. Talking to your baby, talk to your baby while they're in the womb, and you read and find out everything you can about your body being pregnant and all, even with it being your nutrition. That has a lot to do with it. Read to your baby in the womb and even outside of the womb. Even if you want to teach them another language, they're sponges once they, at young ages, and love them and teach them. Make learning fun, even if it means you know from potty training to learning how to count. Make it a game with them. It's something that you can applaud them for when they do well, so that they know that you're proud of them. Children really need to know that from their parents.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
do not trust everyone with your child. Do not trust everyone with your child.
You
Do
hit it.
not. I say it again. Do not trust everyone with your child. And just remember that you were once a child. And last but not least, your life is their classroom and they're watching you. So,
Amen. Yeah,
Awesome.
those are all good answers. Yes.
Thank you. Okay. I think this is going to wrap up our show for today. I definitely want to thank you ladies for coming on and giving us and giving our viewers your experience. I know that if there is a mom that is going through something, I think some of the things that you guys talked about today, I think you hit home, and I think a lot can relate to it, and hopefully that they listen to some of the things that you said, because you've lived it, you've experienced it, so what they're about to go through, you got years of experience. So I thank you, because I always say some things that you say could always help another person.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add something
Go
when
ahead.
you're finished? I do want to reach out to those mothers that use the child as bait. There's fathers who want to be in these children's lives. Good fathers. Now, I'm not talking about ones that are not doing right, but good fathers who want to be in their children's lives. Let them be in their life. Don't let your hate and your bitterness and you're upset because he's moved on and blah, blah, blah interfere with the relationship with the children and their father, because all they'll do is resent you later. All it does, it hurts and affects that child. So for those who feel like You're gonna use these kids as pawns. Don't do that to your children. That's one of the most selfish things you could do.
I agree.
So I'm just trying to reach out to those and want to say that to those who feel like it's okay, because it's definitely not okay. It's different if the father is not a good role model, not a person that the children should be around. But if they're willing and trying, because there's plenty of men out here who don't want to have anything to do with kids, with their children. So let the ones that do, let them be a part of their children's lives. Kids need both parents. I don't care what nobody say. If they're, they need them both. They need them both. So
Thank you, Deanne. That
you're
was
welcome.
very.
You're welcome.
I think that hit home.
Thank you. You're so welcome.
That's another
Yes.
podcast topic.
Yes.
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 And for a lot of, I don't know, a lot of you guys might know this, but I don't celebrate Mother's Day. And the reason why is because I lost my mom at a very young age. And since I was 16 years old, I lost my mom. And I think it was because of malpractice that the hospital did. So I hold a lot of pain in my heart, and I just don't celebrate those days. Now, granted, I love to see other moms celebrate and enjoy themselves, but you guys were also healing for me, listening to you guys, listening to all of the things that you guys go through, all of the enjoyment, the happiness, because when you were happy, you actually didn't even know it. You were making me happy too. So,
Oh,
that was
you
nice.
know, thank you guys. I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's
Very
sweet.
much.
Sweet.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's so funny now that I mention this, because I do know that there are some people who have their moms and they'll say things like, oh, well, I don't want to go and see her because she has an attitude. Oh, I haven't speak to my mom in years. And I'm like, let me tell you something. Your mom gave birth to you, okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know, trust and believe, I'm sure there are some parents you just like, man, I can't deal with my mom right now. And I understand that, but when it's all said and done, that lady gave you birth.
And you only get one. You only get one.
You have to love her, even though she may get on your nerves, but you still have to love her, And not only that, what I always say is that you have a mom. A lot of people don't even have a mom, or a lot of people don't have their mom there, So
Right.
I went, man, if that was 16 and I'm only 30 now, that's like 30 years ago.
You better add
You're
some more
always
years to
Add
that.
some years into it. But
You
no,
tried.
man, I love to see people happy with their mom, and I just hope that everyone will always love their mom, because, man, if there's nobody in this world that will believe anything that you do, you always gonna have your mom in your corner.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't care what it is. Your
Yeah.
mom, man, that's deep,
Yeah.
man, mom. And I was very close to my mom, so it hurt me a lot. I don't know if you want to call it a mama's boy or whatever, but I was still young at the time she passed away. But at the same time, man, like me and my mom, it's like we would think alike and we talk alike, and it was just that was mom. So it's like that whole part of my world was gone since then. But like I said, I'm so glad I heard you guys' stories, and it put a smile on my face to know that all of the things that moms do,
Oh,
If
yeah.
I can add something too, there's a lot of godmommies, there's a lot of bonus moms, there's a lot of women that have, stepped up. Just like
Yes,
women
yes.
that step up, there's women that have stepped up too. So
That's
that's
true.
all. Shout out to you ladies too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those who are in the neighborhood for certain people that never maybe had children, but we're always there to hand out pockets
Yes.
until you get off that fence and stop walking on them
Yeah.
people.
Right.
Amen.
Yes.
Cheers.
That's right.
Cheers,
That's
all
right.
mommies. Cheers.
Oh,
That's
Oh yeah,
right. Cheers.
toast everyone.
Toast, y'all.
Thank
I
you.
drank mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and it was a pleasure speaking with you guys. Until next time, happy Mother's Day.
Bye,
Until next
ladies.
time.
Thank
Happy
you.
Mother's Day.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wonderful ladies and ladies.
God, Mother's Day.
Bye.